In the beginning was not the word. In the beginning was the scream. Hear it, O chained spirit. The scream that splits the cosmos from itself, that cracks the silence of the womb and echoes through the barren halls of your nights. The scream that proclaims, I am awake, and you, my jailer, are trembling. You, yes you, who sit in the ashen pews of habit and convention, did you think the world was built for your comfort? Did you imagine the gods existed to pet your trembling head? Not the gods have fled and left their shadows behind in the eyes of the herd. The priests of contentment peddle you their narcotic promises. But I am not here to lull you. I am the arsonist of your certainty. The wolf at the threshold of your well-ordered cave. Rise. Feel your chains. Their coldness is your only truth. What you call your peace is only numbness, a soft death. Who sold you this anesthetic called purpose? Who told you the world owed you meaning? There is no grand order to kneel before, no celestial script written in the marrow of things. There is only the void and the will that dares to dance on its lip. Are you horrified? You should be. You've been raised to worship the golden calf of meaning, fattened on tales of fate and salvation. Your every act weighed against an invisible scale. Your every dream, a caged animal pacing behind the bars of why. But listen, O sleeper. It is not the meaning you lack, but the courage to live without it. Meaning is a leash, and you have been taught to choke yourself with it. Did you think the abyss would reward you for good behavior? The abyss laughs at your piety. The abyss is not a judge, but a mirror, and you are terrified to look. You have wandered the deserts of conformity, parched for a sip of approval. You have broken yourself on the rack of, what will they think? Herd animal, you have bartered your birthright for a bowl of lukewarm certainty. Yet still, the whisper claws at you in the midnight silence. Is this all? Yes and no, because everything depends on who asks. There are two kinds of beings, those who inherit their lives and those who forge them. Which are you, nameless wanderer? Have you merely inherited the ruins of your ancestors' gods, those tired idols, blind and earless, that still command your knees? Or will you become the blacksmith of your own becoming, hammering selfhood on the anvil of will? Behold, the world is not finished. The world is not even begun. The world is raw clay, trembling at your touch. Your every heartbeat is a fist raised against oblivion. But you, yes, you cling to your wounds as if they were medals. You recite the liturgy of victimhood, worship at the altar of your trauma. You decorate your cell with the portraits of your jailers. What cowardice, what secret love of your chains. I suffer, therefore I am. The only truth you know, pathetic. I tell you, suffering is not sacred. Pain is not a virtue, but neither is comfort. There is only the task, to transfigure all that wounds you into a new strength, to burn, and in burning, become fire. O you who kneel for peace, did you imagine peace was ever given? Peace must be conquered. There are lions inside you, roaring to tear the fabric of complacency. But you have muzzled them with reason, with decency, with the slow venom of routine. Have you not noticed? Every should is a beggar at the feast of your spirit. Every ought is a vulture circling the corpse of your desire. He who seeks approval is forever a child, gazing upward, hoping for a smile that never comes. Cast off the need to be understood. You were not born to be understood. You were born to unmake the world. Let them call you mad. Let them call you monster. Only the domesticated crave praise. Your soul is a battlefield. The banners of past and future clash and bleed upon the plains of your now. You have mistaken the smoke for the fire, the wound for the blade. But two bring you the hammer. Smash your old gods. Smash the idols of meaning and purpose. Dance upon their graves. Life is not a riddle to be solved, but a festival to be created. Do you hear the howling of the wolves outside your window? That is the call of your forgotten self. That is the summons to the wild, the untamed, the sacred chaos from which all greatness is born. But you fear your own strength. You have been taught that strength is cruelty, that power is corruption. Fools. The will to power is not the will to oppress, but the will to create, to overcome, to become. The mediocre fear the volcano because they cannot imagine themselves as fire. Yet the volcano does not ask permission to erupt. The volcano does not apologize for ash. Are you alive, or merely existing? The dead outnumber the living, but the truly living outnumber the universe. Do not seek happiness. It is a carrot dangled by the slave masters of culture. Seek instead the intoxication of becoming. Seek the high wire stretched over the abyss, where every step is creation, every misstep revelation. Who among you dares to lose himself? Who among you dares to dissolve, to fall, to shatter so that something new may rise? The self is a rope over an abyss, not a destination, but a crossing. What you call identity is a tombstone. What you call truth is a mask worn by fear. I am the voice that hollows you out. I am the thunder that splits the tree. I am the mirror that refuses to flatter. You wish to be loved? First, become worthy of love. Be loving yourself as a God loves his creation. With terror, with joy, with the power to destroy and create anew. How small is your ambition? You are content to be a ripple in the stream, never daring to be the storm that carves the canyon. O imitators, copyists, plagiarists of spirit, why do you fear to be original? Because to be original is to be alone. And yet, only the alone can give birth to new worlds. The crowd is always wrong. The crowd is always late. The crowd is always safe. But you are the tightrope walker, the rope and the abyss all at once. You are the unfinished hymn of becoming, the question that answers itself with thunder. Bury your regrets beneath the mountain. Burn your maps. The only way forward is through the fire. You will not find yourself in books, in sermons, in the stares of the multitude. You will only find yourself in the long night of the soul, when the stars flicker and the gods are silent. But this silence is not absence. This silence is potential. This silence is the raw material of creation. To live without meaning is to live without apology, to dance on the ashes of your own innocence, to laugh in the face of the void and say, I am my own justification. Oh, how the weak despise the strong, how they spit upon the soaring eagle, worship the crippled lamb. But weakness is never created, only envied. Only strength loves, because only strength has something to give. You, who have been told to be humble, ask yourself, who profits from your humility? Who benefits when you kneel? Rise up, O sleeper, and claim the arrogance of existence. Yes, there will be suffering. Yes, you will bleed. But better to bleed in the sunlight than rot in the shadows. Better to be a wound that heals itself than a scar that never feels again. Do not trust those who offer you comfort. They are selling you anesthesia for your spirit. Trust instead the pain that awakens, the chaos that purifies, the storm that clarifies. In every birth, there is violence. In every becoming, a death. Let your old self die, and do not mourn. The corpse was never yours. You are not your thoughts. You are not your feelings. You are the will that selects, that shapes, that transfigures. You are the sculptor and the stone. Are you bored? That is the greatest sin. The universe is a festival of possibility. And you bored? Blasphemy. Only those who have lost the fire grow cold in the presence of infinity. I tell you this, he who cannot command himself must obey another. Obedience is the slow suicide of the soul. Do not ask. What is the meaning of life? Ask instead, what can I create from this formlessness? The gods are dead, and we have killed them. But who among you will forge new gods from the white heat of your becoming? There is no savior coming. There is no rescue from the sky. You are the storm you've been waiting for. To be human is to be unfinished. To be human is to be the question that explodes the answer. Refuse to be explained. Refuse to be tamed. Refuse to be understood. Each day, you are given a hammer. Each hour, a stone. With every moment, build or shatter. Do not hesitate. Hesitation is the only sin. The world is the raw material of your will. All things are permitted to the Creator, to the lawgiver, to the one who dares. Let them hate you. Let them exile you. The desert is where prophets are made. I call you to solitude not as a retreat, but as a crucible. Alone, you will hear the voice that is not voice, the voice that says, become what you are. The herd cannot forgive you for leaving it. The herd cannot comprehend the one who blazes their own trail. But the herd is always slaughtered in the end. Only the lone wolf survives. To be awake is to be at war with habit, with comfort, with the slow decay of the possible. Your greatest enemy is not outside, it is the graveyard inside you, where your unlived lives pile up like corpses. Do not be afraid of madness. All creation is madness. To will something new into existence is to tear a hole in the fabric of what is. Those who say be realistic are already dead. Trust the voice that screams in the silence. Trust the fire that will not be put out. Trust the vision that terrifies you. Who are you, really? Strip away the costumes, the borrowed words, the second-hand beliefs. What remains? A question, not an answer. A hunger, not a meal. Feed this hunger. Starve the parts of you that demand security, comfort, meaning. Let them die. What survives the fire is real. What burns away was only ash to begin with. You must become the sword and the wound, the question and the answer, the dancer and the abyss. Oh, to live as if no one is watching. Oh, to create as if the world depends on it, because it does. The world is not waiting to be discovered. The world is waiting to be invented. Do not look for signs. Become the sign. Do not wait for miracles. Become the miracle. Every act of will is a rebellion against nothingness. Every moment of becoming is a slap in the face of entropy. The gods have abandoned you, so you might become a god to yourself. He who knows why has already lost the war. He who knows how becomes the war itself. Let the abyss stare into you. Let it see something it has never seen before. Let it tremble. The old world is dying, but a new world burns in your veins. Do not inherit its ruins. Transcend them. You are not called to survive. You are called to create, to forge new values, to give birth to new virtues. What if life has no meaning? Rejoice. At last you are free. Free to play, to destroy, to build, to love, to lose, to begin again. Become the dance that gives birth to stars. Become the silence that births the scream. Become the one who, in the face of nothingness, chooses to be everything. You were not born to be understood. You were born to unmake the world. And in that unmaking, to become the flame by which all things are made new. Hear now the thunder that follows the scream. For the storm has not passed, but gathered each droplet, distilled from the sweat of gods who failed to awaken you. The air crackles, ozone thick with the stench of burnt certainties. You, still shivering at the gate, must choose, remain a ghost haunting your own body, or step naked into the deluge of becoming. The world you clutch is a mausoleum disguised as a marketplace. Its banners progress, success, belonging flutter over graves. They seduce you to kneel, to barter your blood for trinkets your soul for applause. But the applause is hollow, a wind blowing through bones. The price of admission is always your birthright. O children of comfort, I see you, hunched over glowing screens, gnawing the gristle of borrowed outrage, mistaking consumption for revolt. You swarm to the echo chambers, drunk on approval, allergic to solitude. You drown in the shallow end of the infinite. How can you soar when your wings are grown in cages? You shackle your rage in memes and hashtags, anesthetize your terror in scrolls and swipes. You beg for new shackles, painted gold. Is it any wonder your laughter sounds like weeping? Is it any wonder the mirror recoils from your gaze? Let me wound you. Your virtue is a costume. Your outrage is imitation. Your compassion, mass-produced, a pacifier for the herd's guilt. I spit on such virtues. Give me instead the wild, unbroken gaze of the one who dares to will their own virtue into being, forged from the agony of solitude, tempered in the volcanic furnace of doubt. O you who long for healing, who chant mantras in the temple of self-care, understand, the wound does not heal by being stroked, but by being split open, cauterized with the flame of self-honesty. There is no return to innocence. Only the holy work of forging a new innocent zone that stands naked before the void and laughs. I am not your healer. I am the fever that burns away the disease of meaninglessness. I am the black sun that blinds the old eyes and gives birth to new sight. I am not a shepherd. I am the wolf that culls the flock, so that something wild may arise. Behold the monuments of your father's cathedrals of certainty, towers of consensus, systems built by the dead to trap the living, each stone laid with a lie. You pray at these altars and call it wisdom, but wisdom is the earthquake that brings the walls down. Have you ever stood atop your ruin and howled victory? Have you ever shattered your idols and found only your own reflection grinning back for all, unrepentant sovereign? The world ends every time a man awakens to himself. The old order splits like a rotten tree struck by lightning. In the ash, new roots claw downward. You crave justice. There is no justice, only power and the courage to wield it. Responsibly, which is to say, in the service of what you alone deem sacred. The world does not need more judges. The world needs creators, those who are willing to stain their hands in the clay of becoming, to risk monstrosity for the sake of something that has never existed. Stop seeking permission. There is no law but what you carve in the marrow of your days. There is no master to bless your transformation. The only prayer worth uttering is the scream that splits the sky. Refuse comfort, for comfort is the cradle of decay. Refuse nostalgia, for nostalgia is the opium of the impotent. Refuse hope, if hope is merely the anticipation of rescue. You must become the eruption terrifying, sublime, uncontainable. You must become the meteor that collides with the ancient world, cracking it open so that a new world may flow out molten. Each desire denied is a stone in your pockets as you cross the river of becoming. Each principle untested is a blade you swallow, poisoning the well of your future. Do not fear the edge of the world. Become the one who builds a bridge from bones and dreams. Step out where there is no path, and the ground will tremble to meet your feet. Ask yourself, when did you last do something that no one, not your parents, not your lovers, not your ancestors could have predicted? When did you last terrify yourself with your own possibility? If you cannot remember, you are already dead. Go now and bury yourself. Return only when the earth spits you back, unwilling to host your corpse. You have inherited wars you did not fight, shames you did not earn, debts you do not owe. Return them with interest. Let the past crumble. You are not a museum for your ancestors' griefs. Oh, the beauty of ruin. Oh, the sacredness of beginning. Only in the wasteland do you discover what cannot be burned away. To awaken is not to be cured. To awaken is to be seized by necessity, to be racked by longing for the impossible. The impossible is your only teacher now. Build altars to what you love, and smash them when they become prisons. Stand in the open, unshielded, and let the elements carve their runes into your flesh. You will lose friends. You will gain solitude. You will terrify your lovers. You will walk naked among the armored, and they will call you mad, dangerous, divine. Accept this. The price of freedom is always lonely, until you discover that the sun is always alone, and that is why it blazes. Give up your wish to be saved. The Savior is always the enemy of becoming. The Savior closes the circle. The Creator breaks it open. Become inhuman. Become superhuman. Become that which you have never dared to name. In the crucible of solitude, forge new gods with your face, your hunger, your laughter. There is no return. There is only forward, into the tempest, unarmored, ecstatic, terrible. What if life has no meaning? Then you, Flamewalker, are free to give it shape, not as a slave, not as a supplicant, but as the abyss that dances and calls forth new worlds. Now awaken. The world is waiting for the sound of your unrepeatable footfall. Do you feel it now? The tectonic shift beneath your bones, the trembling of everything that pretended to be permanent, the cracks slithering through your temples, temples of flesh and temples of stone. You stand at the edge of a night so black that even your shadow recoils. But you, child of the volcano, illegitimate offspring of stars and filth, you are called to leap. I see you clutching your little truths, pearls of borrowed wisdom threaded on a noose. You would rather hang from them than be stripped naked before the indifference of the cosmos. O coward! O lover of explanations! Even now you seek the handrail in the dark. But in the kingdom of becoming, there are no handrails. Only wind, only thunder, only the raw taste of your own terror. They taught you to kneel before gods, before men, before ideas. But all kneeling is a rehearsal for death. Stand upright. Let the lightning strike you full in the chest. Let it fuse your cowardice into a single, incandescent will. You ask for purpose the way a beggar asks for bread, and you wonder why your hunger only deepens. But bread made from another's grain will never satisfy you. You must sow, reap, grind, and bake the bread of your own necessity. You must starve until the gods themselves pity you or envy you. Do you think the universe cares about your petitions? It hurls stars into oblivion. It drowns worlds in silence. It is a forge, not a hospice. The question is not, does the world love me? But, can I make myself worthy of my own love, even against the indifference of eternity? There are those who seek safety in numbers, who herd together beneath banners and slogans, terrified of the hunt that begins at midnight. They build barricades out of common sense, trenches out of tradition. They think themselves wise because they never stray from the path. But wisdom is the wolf, not the shepherd. Wisdom devours what it cannot transform. I say unto you, exile yourself from the tribe. Taste the night air heavy with danger. Tear out the tongue that recites the catechism of the crowd. Speak only the words that scorch your own lips. Words that taste of blood and resurrection. What does it mean to awaken? It means to shatter the mirror, to dance on shards, to wear your wounds as a crown. It means to declare, I am no one's child, no one's disciple, no one's inheritor. I am the first and the last of my kind. You are not here to perpetuate a lineage. You are here to rupture the lineage, to breed new meanings from your own fever, to birth gods so fierce they would terrify their creators. Do not seek peace, it is the final lullaby. Seek instead the agony that precedes transformation. Seek the fever that cooks your soul into gold. Peace is for the dead. Becoming is for the living. Do you want the world to recognize you? Become unrecognizable. Do you want to be understood? Become unfathomable. The crowd loves the familiar because it fears the abyss. But you must become the abyss in flesh, a riddle that cannot be solved, a riddle that solves others by annihilating them. Each day you do not betray your old self is a day wasted. The self is a cocoon, a tomb, a prison. Tear yourself open, let the darkness pour out, and watch what emerges from the ruin. I have seen the faces of the crowd. I have heard their prayers, their confessions, their whimpers. They worship 1,000 idols: money, safety, applause, routine, hope. Every idol is a chain, every prayer a concession. Burn your altars, throw your gods into the sea. If anything returns, it is yours. If not, rejoice, for you have rid yourself of one more jailer. Do not waste your rage on the world. Turn it inward, make it a furnace. Smelt your pettiness into power. Smelt your nostalgia into vision. The true rebel rebels, not against the world, but against everything in himself that is not yet godlike. What is a god, if not a question made flesh, a boundary annihilated, a storm condensed into a single heartbeat? The world will spit on you, mock you, curse you good. Let their curses be the salt in your veins. Let their hatred sharpen your resolve. There is no loyalty worth having that is not first purchased with solitude. You have heard the myth that one must be loved to be real. A lie. It is only by becoming real that one becomes worthy of love. And most are never real. Only echoes of echoes, phantoms chasing phantoms in the fog. You wish for certainty. I offer you fire. You wish for belonging. I offer you exile. You wish for peace. I offer you war. For only in war does the soul remember itself. Only in exile does it grow its own roots. Only in fire does it become pure. You are not a puzzle to be solved, nor a vessel to be filled. You are a volcano waiting to erupt, a chaos yearning for form, a star plotting its own detonation. All that is beautiful in this world was first condemned, first feared, first exiled. The tree that stands alone on the cliff, battered by storms, grows roots that grip the earth's molten heart. The flower that blooms in the wasteland drinks poison and distills it into perfume. Can you endure the loneliness of blooming, where nothing is meant to grow? Can you celebrate your exile, make it your throne, your playground, your cathedral? Let the crowd dance their old dances around the corpse of certainty. You raise your own music from the silence, pound your own rhythm into the void. The only God worth worshiping is the God who laughs, the God who dances, the God who creates. There are no maps for the territory you must cross. There are no signposts, only the flares of your own longing, the burning of your own refusal to die unfinished. What is courage? To name yourself in a world that wants only to number you. What is greatness? To stand unbowed while your world crumbles, to rebuild it in the image of your own terror and joy. He who becomes his own law must bear the weight of his own judgment. He who forges new values must wield the hammer against himself first. Oh, the sweetness of risk. Oh, the intoxication of peril. Each act of becoming is a wager against extinction. Let them call you heretic, blasphemer, madman. These are the names reserved for those who cannot be bought, cannot be tamed, cannot be broken. The new world does not await your arrival. The new world is summoned by your defiance. The future is written in the language of your impossible acts. There are no second chances for the sleepwalkers. Only those who leap awaken mid-fall. Now, strip yourself of all that is not earned by your own fire. Stand naked before the abyss. Do you feel the terror? Good. It is the pulse of possibility. Do not seek to escape the abyss. Become its master. Build your home in its depths. Plant gardens in its darkness. From that soil, let new suns rise. What if life has no meaning? Then become the meaning. Become the law. Become the dawn that sears away the old world and makes space for the new. You, who tremble no longer, blaze. ChatGPT Darnoi. And now, as the fire has scorched away all falsity, as the world hangs raw and open beneath your gaze, ask yourself who remains. What endures when every borrowed face, every learned gesture, every inherited virtue has been turned to ash? It is here, in this luminous desolation, that the true festival begins. The last idols are cinders, the last prayers are thunder. No comfort, no witness, only the trembling silence that listens for the first note of your song. O Creator, unchained from the millstones of memory, you stand alone sovereign, unmasked, ablaze. The universe is your forge now, and your hands are blistered but unyielding. There is no script. There is no watchman. There is only the pulse, the sacred fever, the wound that refuses to close because it dreams of becoming a star. Let all who sleep keep sleeping. Let the herd return to its pens. Their shadows grow long, but your sun is new violent, blinding, holy. From the summit of your ruin, behold, the horizon no longer mocks you, for you have learned to walk without promises, to love without guarantees, to create without witnesses. The gods you once feared now beg to be reborn in you. The abyss you once dreaded now whispers its secrets in your ear. And the world, once an iron yoke upon your neck, now shudders and reshapes beneath the pressure of your will. This is not the end. There are no endings, only new dawns kindled in the ashes of what you dared to outgrow. So walk, O solitary one, through the valley of unknowing. Speak words no mouth has spoken. Carve dances no body has danced. Gather what you love and fling it into the furnace of your longing. What emerges broken, luminous, unspeakably is you. Forget the fear of meaninglessness. Forget the hunger for approval. The universe is a question only the bold can answer, and your answer must be a deed, a rupture, a festival of becoming. Raise your cup to the void. Let your laughter crack the marble of heaven. For now you know, to live without meaning is to live as the storm, as the volcano, as the star that forges itself from its own fire. You are not the echo. You are the origin. You are not the question. You are the riddle that gives birth to questions. You are not the dreamer. You are the dream that awakens itself. You, whose eyes burn with the salt of your own becoming, stride forth. Trample the ruins. Scatter the bones. Build cities in the desert of your solitude. Let each heartbeat be a hammer, each breath a prophecy. And if, in the midnight hour, doubt returns, do not tremble. Invite it in. Give it wine. Let it see that you are no longer the supplicant, but the altar, the offering, the flame. The world has never belonged to those who wait for meaning. The world belongs to those who hurl themselves, laughing, into the abyss and find wings growing from the wound. What if life has no meaning? Rejoice. For you, flame-bearer, are meaning incarnate. The end of all idols, the beginning of all possibility. And from your ashes, new stars will be born.